Another teaser for the Amazing Digital Circus Episode 5 recently dropped. And this one flips everything we thought we knew. We're no longer just looking at a savannah or a stadium. Now we're seeing an office. And trust me, it changes everything. Today, I'm breaking down what's hidden in this teaser, why it could reshape the direction of the show, and what it might tell us about Reginald, Jax, and the digital circus itself. We start with something unexpected. Pomni, Kinger, and Ragatha inside what looks like a corporate office. That already doesn't match the vibe we've seen in past teasers, especially with Jax holding a gun in the safari setting. So far, we've seen teases for a stadium, a savannah, and now, an office. Could this mean we're getting multiple environments or challenges in one episode? There's also a hidden reference here. The design of the keyboard looks suspiciously like the computer we saw in Episode 1, when Pomni was trying to escape through the C&A hallways. That could be a huge callback and possibly a clue that we're returning to the origins of the circus. Let's talk characters. Ragatha is surprisingly upbeat, rocking sunglasses and smiling. Pomni, in contrast, looks disturbed, especially when facing that computer. It might be triggering a memory. Kinger seems baffled, like he's never seen tech before. That's a telling contrast. Interestingly, Pomni's outfit is different. She's not in her Joker getup. She's wearing a formal business suit. That could hint each character will have different outfits based on the challenge or setting. Maybe the office world is designed to reflect their past lives, especially Pomni's. There's growing evidence that Episode 5 may feature dual plot lines. One set in the sterile white office environment, the same one teased in the very first look, and another in the safari setting with Jax. So here's a theory. Ragatha starts off in the office challenge, but transitions into the safari challenge later, possibly meeting Jax along the way. That could explain the shift in mood and appearance. And the fact that she's holding what look like reports or papers suggests a storyline grounded in tasks or missions. Also, if you pause the teaser closely, there's a hand, likely Jax's, just in front of Ragatha. His signature yellow gloves are unmistakable. That brings the teaser count to 3, featuring Jax alone. He's clearly a central figure this time. One of the smartest things Glitch is doing is keeping us confused. They've been dropping disconnected teasers across Twitter and Wacky Watch, not revealing the full picture. And the phrasing used in these teaser captions? Intentionally vague. There's a possibility that this teaser is part of a larger trailer that will reveal more than one episode. Think about it. Stadium, office, safari. That's way too much for just one story arc. Could Episode 5 serve as a mid-season turning point? Glitch has teased that Episode 5 will focus on Ragatha. But we've also seen heavy content for Jax. That suggests this won't be just a one-character episode. In fact, this might be a turning point, much like Episode 3 but more ambitious. The show may be shifting from isolated adventures to interconnected stories, slowly revealing the truth behind the circus, C&A, and the digital world itself. At this point, we've officially crossed the halfway mark of the Amazing Digital Circus, and it's clear that the tone is beginning to shift. The lighthearted chaos, the jokes, the strange but silly adventures, they're starting to give way to something more unsettling, a creeping sense of dread that's been building episode by episode. Let's start with Kane, the enigmatic ringmaster. In earlier episodes, he came off as quirky and eccentric, almost like comic relief. But now, there's a noticeable crack in his facade. He's slipping. His behavior feels increasingly erratic, almost like he's losing control of the circus, of himself, or maybe even both. And this change could mean that the virtual world is beginning to unravel, or that Kane isn't as all-powerful as we once thought. Then there's the character development. Finally, we're seeing layers peel back. Personalities are becoming clearer, traumas are rising to the surface, and motivations are getting more complex. But amid all this development, one question still remains largely untouched. What exactly is abstraction? We've seen it happen. We know it's terrifying, and we know it essentially wipes out a character's identity. But why does it happen? How does it work? And why does the show avoid giving us clear answers? That silence might be intentional and even strategic. There's a growing theory among fans that abstraction isn't just a punishment or a glitch. It's tied directly to the core mystery of the series. Why are these people in the digital circus in the first place? Take Pomni, for example. She clearly reacts with fear and discomfort every time she encounters certain objects or environments, especially the office and the computer shown in the latest teaser. It's not random. These elements feel familiar to her. Too familiar. Almost like they're fragments of a life she once lived. And that fuels one of the biggest theories floating around. Pomni may have worked for CNA in the real world, the company responsible for creating the circus simulation. If that's true, then her presence in this twisted digital reality isn't accidental. It's personal. Maybe she didn't just fall into the circus. Maybe she was uploaded, either willingly or against her will. That could explain her breakdowns, her sense of déjà vu, and the symbolic weight of things like the computer. It's not just a prop, it's a trauma trigger. So when we ask why abstraction is kept vague, the answer might be this: it's the key to everything. To understand abstraction is to understand how people were digitized, who's behind it, and what the ultimate goal is. That kind of reveal would change the entire narrative, which is probably why Glitch is saving it for the end. We're heading into deeper, darker territory now, and abstraction may be the final puzzle piece that connects every thread. Now, let's talk about the release schedule and the total number of episodes, something that's been causing quite a bit of speculation among fans. Many of us were really hoping for a full trailer by now, but instead, Glitch surprised us with yet another teaser. Judging by their pattern so far, it seems likely that we'll see a few more teasers drop over the next week or so before the official trailer for Episode 5 finally arrives. This approach keeps the hype alive and keeps us guessing about what's really coming next. When it comes to how many episodes we're actually getting, things remain pretty unclear. Initially, the plan was for an 8-episode season, but that number later shifted to 9. More recently, IMDb has listed 10 episodes. However, none of this has been officially confirmed by Glitch, so take it with a grain of salt. What we do know is that the creators are aiming to have the entire season wrapped up and released by the end of this year, which is great news for those of us eagerly following the story. Episode 5 could be one of the most important ones yet, whether it's a mind-bending flashback, a multi-layered reality shift, or a deeper dive into character backstories. Glitch is clearly building towards something huge. Will we finally get the answers we've been waiting for, or will Glitch keep us guessing until the very end? Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially your theories about the office setting, abstraction, and Pomni's connection to the real world. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Piece by piece.